back on HQ Live from Super Bowl 58 as we take a look at some notable player props and the players better play on. Brock Purdy, Patrick Mahomes going head-to-head as we take a look at the numbers. Mahomes' passing yards about 20 north of what's expected of Brock Purdy. But let's find out what Mox Props expects as it regards to these numbers. Katie Mox in the mix here to give us her plays here on the prop front.
Yeah.
You've made us winners all season long, Mox, so why stop now?
Why stop?
Start with passing yards. 262.5, 245.5. Couple of opportunities there as it pertains to our quarterbacks, but you're looking for an under on somebody that you have not been shy to go over on often this season.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, look, there's no, I'm wearing purple today, but we know where my heart lies, right? I love me some Brock Purdy. However, Joe, I am going to fade him in the passing game. I'm going to take him, it's under 245.5 passing yards. Now, he is the all-time leader in passing yards for the 49ers. That's amazing. He also has hit over this in 67% of games this season. But you look at this Kansas City pass defense, Joe, and you got to give them all the credit in the world. They held all of their passers to under 200 yards this season. You look at Lamar Jackson, he had 272, but that was a mistake. He was out there playing hero ball. They should have run the ball, which is exactly where I think Kyle Shanahan is going to do in this game. Big game for Christian McCaffrey, not Brock Purdy.
This Kansas City defense, the only team in NFL history to hold their opponents sub 28 points in 20-plus games.
Yeah.
It's been outstanding what they've done. So even if they get to the end zone 4 times and reach that 28 mark, you got to figure some of that's going to be Christian McCaffrey, and I like that play there. Let's talk about passing touchdown prop. 1.5 on both sides, as is often the case here. Juiced on both numbers. A little more juice, a little bigger price to pay for Patrick Mahomes. But if you're saying going to be a little less passing game script for Brock Purdy, are you looking for an over there with Mahomes?
Yeah, I hate to do it, right, because I'm a big 49ers fan, but Mahomes over 1.5 is just the way that you have to play this, Joe. He has hit over this mark in 2 of 3 Super Bowls. The only one that he didn't get it in was against the Bucs, and they held him out of the end zone there. As much as I love this 49ers defense, they are very bend but don't break in the red zone. It's Patrick Mahomes. He's going to find a way. I like him over the 1.5.
All right, let's stay in the passing vein here. Attempts numbers go as such. Mahomes 36.5, Purdy 31.5. Both of those lofty numbers when you're looking at what each of these teams tries to do in the run game as well. Got to run a lot of plays to get to that attempt number. Where are you at on which quarterback?
So I'm going to take the under in Brock Purdy, right? It goes hand in hand, Joe, with the yards here. It's at 31.5. I am going to take this under because, again, the 49ers are going to run the ball. You've got a rookie quarterback here who is prone to throw interception balls. I think that they're going to take the ball out of his hand. They're going to run the ball a lot. He's actually only hit over this mark in 11% of games this season because the 49ers like to run, especially on first down, 30% of games.
Consummate professional teasing us towards where we're going, and that is the Katie Mox special. If you bet Katie Mox's interception props this year, you better send thank yous to this one because you were hot on them all year long. Where are you taking us for an INT prop in this game?
I'm going Mahomes, right? Well, look, I'm fading Purdy in the passing game, right? So I don't think he's going to be throwing that, even though he does like to throw those interceptable balls. Mahomes has 4 interceptions in just 3 Super Bowl appearances. He had 2 in his first Super Bowl against the 49ers. He had 2 also against the Bucs. Now, he did not throw against the Eagles last year, but we have a secret weapon on the 49ers, and that is Charvarius Ward. He played 4 years with Mahomes. He knows him. He knows how he throws. And if you want to play that, plus 550.
Plus 550.
For a Ward interception.
Trying to find a Patrick Mahomes postseason interception is like trying to find a clock in a casino. You're just not going to do it. 2021 against Cincinnati, that AFC title game, was the last time, but if the game script is chasing late in this game, maybe you get one. Katie Mox with the interception prop on Patrick Mahomes, because when she zigs, you zag. But just follow the picks. You'll be a winner. Sportsline all week long coming your way here from Las Vegas. 6 Eastern time. Katie Mox, our entire team, making sure your week is a winning one.
Brock Purdy. No team threw it fewer times per game than the San Francisco 49ers. No one would know that more on our set than Katie Mox.
Yeah, and that's why I'm going to take him under 31.5 pass attempts, because just like you said, Chris, the 49ers like to run the ball. In fact, 30% of their first down attempts have been at running the ball, which leads to Brock Purdy not really throwing that much. He's only had 32 pass attempts in 11% of games played this season. I think we're going to see a lot of Christian McCaffrey. I love him for the MVP. I don't know if we're getting into that one, but I think that Brock Purdy is going to protect the ball a little bit because because he does throw those interception balls.
That play pairs really well, Katie, with my play, which is longest completion under 37.5. The Chiefs give up the fewest big pass plays of any team. Only 8 times have they allowed that. And, you know, we saw last week the one go off the face mask, and it's a 51-yarder for Brandon Ayuk. McDuffie and Snead are not letting that happen.
Yeah. Let's go to the tight ends here. 2 of the best to ever do it. We see face off and George Kittle, Travis Kelce. Let's start with George Kittle, and for that, Katie, we'll start with you.
So you could still hit your under on the longest pass, because I'm going to take George Kittle over on his longest reception. It's only at 20.5. I do think that Brock Purdy's not going to throw the ball as much, but George Kittle is always such a threat, especially in the middle of the field. And when the pocket starts to collapse and that pressure comes, he's always going to look for George. George actually leads the 49ers in catches with 20-plus yards. He has 3 in the postseason.
He's making a lot of big plays, but the volume hasn't been there. I'm going to play a matchup on FanDuel, which is really interesting. It's Deebo Samuel to have 1 more catch than George Kittle, and the Chiefs play more 2 high safety than any team in the league, and Deebo Samuel over a 27% target share. He's the go-to guy against that defense.
I like that matchup play. Deebo to have more receptions than George Kittle. 1 more, and it's for Travis Kelce. You can have the argument, is he the best tight end of all time?
Is it about Taylor Swift?
What?
Is it about Taylor Swift?
It is not about Taylor. I'm sure there's going to be plenty of props.
Are either one of you playing a Taylor Swift prop?
That we'll
not yet, but I think I'll get into it a little bit later, but not yet.
No question that that's going to be coming later this week. But you guys, you're on opposite ends of the game, of the picks. You're on opposite ends of the Travis Kelce prop as well, Katie.
We are. All right. Well, I'm fading Travis Kelce, so don't come after me, Swifties, all right? But I am going to fade him there. His receptions is at 6.5. And to me, Larry, this just seems like an overreaction. It was 5.5. Then you look at that AFC Championship game, and he was 11 of 11, 116 yards and a touchdown. However, you got Greenlaw, you got Fred Warner defending the middle of the field. I don't think he's going to have as much success here, so I think it's an overreaction. I think he maybe stops at 6 receptions, not 7.
I agree with you. The linebackers are excellent, but Sam Laporta got 9, Trey McBride got 10, TJ Hawkinson got 11, and Kelce against this defense where they're going to play 4-man rush, zone behind. He gets 30% of the target share, and basically in the playoffs, he's a different guy, rejuvenated with those 2 weeks off. I think he gets 8 or more, and it's a nice plus money.
I just realized I am curious if the Swifties are learning to bet.
I hope so. If you need to learn to bet, Swifties, right? Come over this way.
Yeah, I think that's great. But they're learning about more and more about football.
Yeah, well, they could seriously influence the MVP vote because you have the 20% fan vote. So if Kelce is in the running, that could push him over the top.
That's an interesting point from Larry Hartstein. Swifties, if you want to jump on the bandwagon, there's nobody better than the folks over at Sportsline. You can use a little promo code for 60% off
and this
a quarterly
is the best
plan.
Promo code there is.
It's Moxie, M-O-X-I-E. Katie Mox and Larry Hartstein from Sportsline giving us winning picks here as we kick off Super Bowl week in Vegas.
And look welcoming to the Swifties there.